The Bison football team got back in the win column this weekend, but now it's time to hit the road again. North Dakota State preparing for their last road trips of the regular season. The Bison moved back up to second place in the Missouri Valley Football Conference with their 24-7 win over Illinois State. They were tied with the Redbirds for third place in the conference coming into that game. North Dakota State will now head to Macomb, Illinois for a matchup with Western Illinois. The Leathernecks are on the opposite end of the conference standings, still looking for their first win of the year. Head coach Matt Entz says that the Bison will keep the focus on themselves as they hit the road.
We're going to pour our energy into our own players. When we start pouring them into talking about this player, that player, I think it creates a distraction. So we're going to just keep talking about the things that we have to do to play Bison football on Saturday, and that's going to be, we're going to play fast and be physical are the two message things or descriptors or characteristics that I'm looking for when we get down to Macomb.
This is the second of 3 games that the Bison have against foes from the state of Illinois. After this, they head to Carbondale to play the Southern Illinois Salukis. Basketball fans up in Grand Forks got a bit of a treat this Halloween. The North Dakota Fighting Hawks opening their season in the Betty Engelstad Sioux Center with an exhibition game. UND hosting the Waldorf Warriors. The Fighting Hawks looking to avoid any scares in this exhibition opener, and they're off to a pretty good start. Tracing the Eagle staff, zipping it over to Matt Norman on the wing. Norman with a cross-court pass to Mitch Suker, driving inside. Suker puts the shot up, tips it back. And once again, the third time's the charm. Suker with some offensive boards plus the score. Fighting Hawk defense looking strong early as well. Waldorf looking for something at the top of the key, but the pass is picked off by Elijah Brooks. There's nothing between him and the basket but air and opportunity. A one-handed jam by the freshman from Kansas. UND extending their first half lead. But they aren't done yet. Suker going to work again here. The fifth-year senior finds himself wide open behind the three-point line, and he drains the shot. The Fighting Hawks with a 44-26 lead heading into halftime. The Hawks opening up the year with a 93-48 win in this exhibition battle. Suker ended up leading both teams in scoring with 24 points. Brian Matthews finished with a double-double, scoring 12 points and pulling down 10 rebounds. UND will now prepare for their first official game. They head to San Antonio to play Incarnate Word next Monday. And a bit of a shocker coming in tonight for the NAIA basketball world. Mayville State men's coach Darren Teague resigned this evening. It's confirmed by the school's athletic director. Teague had led quite the successful program in his time with Mayville State, leading the Comets to 3 North Star Athletic Association tournament championships and 3 national tournament appearances. The Comets were 76-30 under Teague. The school will now name an interim coach as they're already 2 games into their 22 campaign. Point is, at the end of the day, basketball season's back.
This is a busy time of year. You have football, basketball started, hockey started, the World Series is still going.
It's just my eyes are in